Okay, 7 o'clock, I'll call to order the regular monthly meeting of the Wilton Town Board of April 5th, 2018. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So a roll call.
Supervisor Johnson.
Here.
Councilman Stryker.
Here.
Councilman Bogardus.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Lamb.
Here.
Councilman McEachran.
Here.
Okay. At this point in the meeting, we have our public comment period. Where's the sign-up sheet? Julie, do you have the sign-up sheet for public comment?
Right in the back there. It's empty.
Thanks, Julie. You do that so well. Okay, the first person to sign up is Eric Rosenberg. As usual, we have a 3-minute time limit.
I don't do it by the minute anymore. Good evening, Eric Rosenberg, 16 Broad Lane. A couple things I wanted to talk about this evening. First of all, at last month's meeting, I talked about getting emails out and other communications, and emails have started going out. So thank you very much for that. A couple of other things may be a little less pleasant. You know, you all don't know me, and I don't believe anybody's made an attempt to get to know me. And you may choose not to like me because perhaps I don't belong to the right political party, or I haven't lived here long enough, or any of these things. But I do expect to be spoken to and treated with respect, and not like I'm potentially some garden variety thief. And I'll just leave it at that. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we are celebrating our 200th anniversary this year, but in many, and it's really important to honor the past. But what I've learned in my 1.5 years, maybe getting closer to 2 years, is we're also a town very much stuck in the past. And in some ways, we really reflect some of what's worse in America today. And that is, we are a town sharply divided along political party lines. And it's ugly. And with all due respect, it's perpetuated by, among others, the very people sitting in front of me. We learned during the campaign that a lot of this is based on fear. Fear, perhaps, of losing your position of privilege because you've lived here longer than other people, or privilege because you think you belong to the right party, and protecting your power, and perhaps abusing power, as was evidenced by that charade at the Zoning Board of Appeals the other day. We've spoken to people. People are afraid to voice disagreement. And by the way, that's non-Republicans and Republicans as well, which we learned while campaigning. People don't want to voice their differences or disagreement because they're afraid of losing their jobs, or they're afraid of repercussions, or they won't put a political sign in their front yard because they're afraid they might lose business, or some other form of retribution. And it's very real, and it's very ugly. I moved here because I wanted to live here, okay, but I have not been made felt welcome in this community by a good portion of the community. What are you so afraid of? You have all of these people moving into town who want to contribute to this town, who want to be friends and neighbors, and yet we feel rejected. Do we really want to be one of those towns that you're better or worse because of the political party you belong to, or because you haven't lived here long enough? This is a very real problem. And there's an opportunity to be a little more progressive. We're not that little town anymore, but we're certainly an ugly town in many ways.
Time's up
Thank you.
there. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, Eddie Miller.
Good evening, Council. My name is Eddie Miller. I live in Saratoga Springs. My sister does live in Wilton. And on behalf of my sister and her family, I'd like to speak for her. And Susan Baldwin, as a matter of fact, used to help out my niece when she was on a traveling hockey team, I remember. Coach.
We did.
Thanks for looking out for my niece. Growing up in New York City, my father had me for a day. After my folks were divorced, but my mother was at a wedding party. And we were walking through the streets of Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And there was a young African-American gentleman, he was shining shoes. And my dad said, "Do you like the way that guy's shining those shoes?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, sit down and get a shoe shine." I said, "I don't need one." He said, "Well, the shoe shine boy has to make money also." He said, "Do you think he's doing a good job?" And I said, "Yes, I do." I said, "Well, in this life, do not ignore when something is done well, whether it's shining a pair of shoes, riding a horse, or running a city like or a town like Wilton." Because, like I said, I've watched what you people do on this council. My sister is well informed of what goes on over here, and I think you do a fantastic job. And I'm just letting you know that I'm going to appreciate what you do, and you all do a great, great job. And as far as critics go, a great American, and this is a great American town, a great American named Theodore Roosevelt, I believe he was president, said critics are a dime a dozen. It's the gladiators in the arena with the sweat and blood and sun in their eyes. They deserve the accolades. That's you people here on the council. For small salaries and a little bit of money, you do an awful lot of work and take a lot of nonsense from people. My friend Lou Snyder, formerly of Saratoga Springs, was a regular at Saratoga Springs council meetings. I don't know if you've been paying attention, Lou, but you know what? It's straight business now. It seems like all the stooges are up here right now. Mr. Rosenberg, it appears to me like you're panning for a job. No, I didn't ask you a question.
Or to the town board. If you want to know about me, you come
I do know about you. I
You
do
don't
know
know
about you.
anything about me.
And I don't have to talk to you, like I said.
Well, then
What I'm doing right now,
Hold it,
I'm telling you
hold
that-
it.
I'm telling you that it appears to me that you're panning for a job. You're giving this council a hard time. They have jobs. They have businesses. They have lives they gotta get.
And I have a job, and I have businesses, and you know what, if you want to talk to me, talk to me. But you know what,
Right.
there's a lot of people in this town that disagree with that.
Look, we're not going to have a debate between you two tonight. Eddie, we just talk to us on
Nice
this.
to me, then. You want to talk to me, then have the courtesy to come and talk to me. I'm plenty of...
Mr. Rosenberg, will you please stop?
Thank you, Mr. Rosenberg. I just want to say to you, you guys do a great job, and I appreciate it, and your town appreciates what you do, and what you also do for the county. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, on the regular agenda, for approve the pending minutes from our March meeting.
I'll put forth a motion to approve the pending minutes.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next on the agenda, every month Saratoga County has a deceased veterans program, and it alternates towns but each month, and this particular month is the town of Wilton, and I have selected James Lant to be the veteran honored. It's John Lant's father, and I'm very proud to be able to select him as the honoree this month. We do have a proclamation that John is going to read, that I will be presenting at the County Board of Supervisors meeting on the 17th. John?
Whereas America was founded on the principles of liberty, opportunity, and justice for all, and we recognize the men and women of our armed forces who have valiantly defended these values throughout our nation's history. These remarkable individuals have helped to make our nation secure and to advance the cause of freedom worldwide by answering the call of duty and risking their lives to protect their fellow countrymen. These patriots have inspired our nation with their courage, compassion, and dedication. Whereas James J. Lant was born on April 28, 1919 in Argyle, New York, and he attended Greenwich High School. And whereas James J. Lant entered in the United States Army on May 16, 1942, and served our country honorably as an infantry squad leader with the 337th Infantry Regiment. And whereas James J. Lant and the 337th landed in Casablanca in January 1944 and prepared for the invasion of Italy in late March. And whereas John J. Lant and the 337th participated in the Rome Arno, North Apennines, and Po Valley campaigns in the Mediterranean Theater as part of the Italian campaign. And whereas James J. Lant was awarded the Bronze Star, the Good Conduct Medal, the European, African, Middle Eastern Theater Ribbon with 3 bronze campaign stars, and the American Theater Ribbon. And whereas James J. Lant was discharged at the rank of Staff Sergeant on November 2nd, 1945, whereas through the years, our veterans have returned home from their duties to become active and responsible citizens in their communities, further contributing to the growth and development of our nation. And where James J. Lant married Kathleen Lant on August 18th, 1946, and they had 5 children, John, James, Jerry, Karen, and Roberta. Whereas James J. Lant owned and operated Lance Auto Sales from 1960 to 2000. James was a member of the American Legion Post 70, the Gertler Brothers Post 420, VFW, and the Dominic Smaldone Italian-American War Veterans Post 35. He was also a member of the Wilton Senior Citizens and Friends of Grant Cottage. James also owned and raced many horses at the Saratoga Harness Track over the years. And whereas James J. Lant was laid to rest in the Gerald B.H. Solomon Saratoga National Cemetery in Schuylerville, New York, on December 27, 2000, at the age of 81. Whereas the town of Wilton honors the memory of James J. Lant for his activities as a veteran and an outstanding member of the community, now thereof be it proclaimed that the 17th day of April 2018 is hereby dedicated to the memory of James J. Lant in grateful recognition on behalf of all of the town of Wilton. In witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and affixed the seal of the town of Wilton this 5th day of April 2018.
This will be presented to the family at the ceremony held at the county office building at 40 McMaster Street. It's open to the public. Anyone is welcome to attend. It's a very nice ceremony. If you've never been there, I encourage you all to attend. So we need a motion to...
Thank you all.
We need a motion to adopt this resolution.
Make a motion to adopt this proclamation.
I'll second it.
Okay. A motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved. Next, Ernst Road PDD, local law number 2 of 2009 amendment. Ryan, you want to take this?
Yes, so this is a local law that's on the books, number 2 of 2009, and recently it was discovered that the adjacent subdivision, the Burnham Hollow subdivision, that is to the east of this planned unit development district, it was required with the PUDD to extend a road from Ernst Road into this subdivision, which is existing. The PUDD is not existing, has not been constructed, but the landowner of the Ernst Road subdivision did not agree to have this road constructed through their property, and so it's become an issue where they cannot further subdivide that parcel of land, and the planning board is sent a recommendation to the town board and looking for the town board to take action with amending this PUD with possible legislation to change and eliminate the connector road requirement from the PUD legislation, and with the consideration of requiring a utility easement for water and sewer to be connected from the Burnham Hollow subdivision to the Ernst Road PUDD. And therefore, the Ernst Road PUDD, which is apartments, can be constructed in the future if deemed necessary by the owner, and the owner of the existing subdivision can subdivide their parcels of land.
Yeah. Ryan, who brought this forward? Was it the Burnham Hollow? Didn't want...
Burnham Hollow owner wanted to subdivide the cul-de-sac. I don't know if anybody wants me to show you on the map.
Yeah.
Let me show, here is, just to give you an orientation where we are. Here is Ernst Road, the north end of Ernst Road, where it connects to Route 9. Holman is there with his landscaping business. So here is Burnham Hollow, portion of the Burnham Hollow subdivision, and it ends right now with a cul-de-sac, which is existing. The roadway is existing. There's existing homes along this roadway. And this is the parcel of land that is the PUDD. And here showing the proposed apartments and the proposed roadway connecting to the Burnham Hollow Road. However, this section of the roadway is on parcel of land owned by this developer. So he did not agree to have this road installed here, making a connector road. He feels that the existing homeowners would feel that their property's been devalued with a connector through road down to Ernst Road, and wishes to have this removed. I spoke to the owner of the PUDD as well, and he is in agreement with this motion as well, as eliminate the road, but, you know, having the water and sewer connector, because they cannot build these apartments without water and sewer.
So, in lieu of a road would be...
Agreeing to that?
Go ahead.
The owner of that parcel's agreeing to that?
Yes.
The planning board agrees with him?
Yes.
Yeah,
Planning board put forth a positive recommendation.
yeah, we have an advisory, positive advisory opinion from the planning board. So in lieu of the road, it would just be an easement for future water and sewer.
Correct, an easement between two property owners, and extend it over to the hearing board. So the board, to further this recommendation from the planning board, we need to set a public hearing for next month and to refer the project to the county planning board for recommendations.
Okay, so the PDD, look at the town board, obviously approved that PDD, so it's up for us to make the amendment.
Correct. The town board can't take that.
That's why it's a town board decision.
Okay. So the only action tonight is to set the public hearing and to refer to the county planning board.
Correct.
Correct.
Make a motion, we set a public hearing for what date?
May 3rd.
May 3rd,
Yeah.
7 o'clock?
No, we're going to change,
Oh, May's at 6 o'clock.
actually, we're going to change the time for May's meeting to 6 o'clock. There's a couple of conflicts with town board members.
Make a motion, we set a public hearing for May 3rd at 6 o'clock.
Just second.
Your motion and second, any questions, discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, any opposed? So moved. Ryan, this is you also, stormwater report.
We have to refer this back to the county planning board too?
Yeah,
I'll put forward the motion to refer it back to the county planning board
for referral, for recommendation.
for recommendation.
Would be same motion, just...
Yeah, it could be all in one motion.
Yeah, I thought it was part of it. Okay, I didn't know if you said it, that's all.
So you got, including goal? Okay. The draft MS4 stormwater report, Ryan.
Yeah, this is an annual report that's I developed for the stormwater, and I just wanted to let you know that the draft annual MS4 stormwater report will be available online for review.
Have we seen it? This is countywide or?
Every township does it,
Okay.
but each individual town creates their own annual report.
Okay.
The draft.
So we have not seen it yet? right?
No. I usually post it online,
Okay.
a couple hundred pages.
You should probably
Yeah, we'll post
provide
it
a
up.
copy for all of us.
Save a tree.
Super interesting.
Committee reports, any committee reports?
I have one, unless you want to go first.
No, go ahead.
I'd like to say a big thank you to the Friends of Wilton Recreation. They're a local 501c3. They donate monies to recreational facilities and programs at Gavin Park. So they've raised money over the last few years, and some of the items that they've done are picnic tables throughout Gavin Park. Along our walking path, we have exercise equipment that they've paid for and put in to the facility. They're donating $5,000 towards a PA system at Gavin Park, which is going to be a big help. And also, they're donating $900 towards 2 "You Are Here" signs that are going to be going up. They're going to be really nice, classy signs that are going to be located in 2 different parts of the park, and and so that'll be nice where people can find out where they have to go to different fields and stuff. So they have 2 fundraising things that they do annually, and one is a Buy a Brick campaign fundraising. It's $50 for a brick and $100 for an 8x8 brick, right, Sue?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can put your name or put something dedicated to a family member, and they put the brick right in at the park. And then another one is our Community Day 5K run, and that's it's a 5K run at Gavin Park on Community Day, which is July 7th, and so those monies raised will be also brought to, for recreational activities and facilities and programs at Gavin Park. So I'd like to say thank you to everybody involved, and keep up the good work. So any major sponsorships for they handle. So I know Joe of Bartol, our president, if he knows anybody that wants to make a major contribution and have their business mentioned as a sponsor of that program or that facility, can do that, and it'll be tax deduction. Tax deductible.
They put it on the shirts.
Yeah, we put on the shirts, everything. So, thank you.
Okay, so any other committee reports?
My seniors are happy.
I just have some announcements to make. This Sunday is the Empty Bowls event for Wilton Food Pantry. It's from Sunday on the 8th to 1 to 4. That's their major fundraiser of the year, so I encourage everyone to go out there and support Wilton Food Pantry. And just in conjunction with that, I did get a letter from the Wilton Food Pantry thanking us for the $2,500 that the town contributed to the pantry as well. Also this month, on the 20th, these are bicentennial events. On the 20th is the reenactment of the first town meeting. That's going to be at Wilton Mall in the fountain area. We have hired professional reenactors to do that. Along with that, there'll be refreshments and some of our town non-for-profits there to offer information on things that they do. Also that weekend on the 21st and 22nd is historic site tours, all the different spots in Wilton, and each day at the end of the maps will be available. At the end of the day, you convene at the Camp Saratoga and have the opportunity to have some free, sponsored by Stewart's, Carner Blueberry ice cream. So anyway, that's just the weekend of April 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
The times are posted somewhere? You know, that reenactment.
The reenactment starts at 6 to 7:30. The actual reenactment itself is going to be at 7. Oh, and then that's followed by the premiere of the Wilton 200 video that was produced by Tim Walsh and Ron McDonald. So that's going to be shown in the Bowtie Cinema Theater immediately following the reenactment.
Well,
Busy weekend.
yeah.
And one last thing, this is really a county thing, but it's open to any town in the county, and that's a tire recycling program. It's going to be Tuesday, May 22nd from 4 to 6 behind the Malta Town Court office. If you want to get rid of any tires, with rims or non-rims, there is a small charge, $2 for without rims and $3 with rims. And it does require pre-registration. You can get that through Sue here at Town Hall. Now, Jeff,
Yeah, I just want to mention all that bicentennial information is available on the website and also on Facebook. So, okay, first ones are the budget transfers and amendments that require town board approval. questions?
No, that's with disposing of 2 trailers?
That's the amount to purchase the new trailer.
Right. He's getting...
Down below, he's requesting to dispose of the other 2.
I make a motion to approve the budget amendment
And transfers.
and the transfer.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next item, Kirk Woodcock is requesting permission to dispose and sell 2 utility trailers on the Auctions International website. This requires town board approval.
Make a motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
Okay, next, Mark Mikens, our code enforcement officer, is requesting to reimburse Belmonte Builders for permit number 9661, minus the cost of the town's review fees and administrative cost. What happened was, we had a customer come in, put a down payment on a house, and Belmonte went ahead and came to us and got the permit. Then the customer backed out of the contract. So,
I'll make a motion, we refund the money for the permit.
Second it.
Motion, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
okay, on to the personal items. We have quite a few. Michelle Ducrot has submitted her resignation from the part-time position of clerk effective March 7th, 2018. Town board should accept her resignation.
I'll put forth a motion to accept Michelle Ducrot's resignation.
Second.
Yeah. Michelle's done a nice job at the park.
Yeah.
Sorry to lose her.
Yep, definitely.
Okay, the next 2 we can do, actually do
I don't think
together.
we did we do motion? Second on
And I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved.
It's yours.
It is mine.
For B and C, I make a motion for Richard McCain and Frank Holden would give 40 hours of their time to Travis.
I'll second that motion.
Very I made the motion to approve those 2 donations. Do you have a second? We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Okay, Kirk Woodcock would like to promote Josh Harrington into the vacant MEO position effective April 17th, starting at a base rate of $18.
I would like to make that motion that we give Josh a promotion. Little sidebar on that, Josh has started with the town and he actually has taken the time upon himself to upgrade his skills in order to move up in that position. I want to thank Josh for make the motion, he gets the promotion.
Second.
Sounds better.
So which one are we on, D?
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we have to make the motion.
You hit the right button. Yes, we're on the email. Kirk Woodcock will hire Bill Dowd into the vacant labor position effective April 17, 2018, starting at step 2, which is $15.53.
I'll put forth a motion to give permission for Kurt to hire Bill Dowd.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
How's your workforce now, Kirk?
Pardon me?
How's your workforce now, getting back up?
We're hurting, but we're getting there. Thank you guys for helping me out. Great job.
Okay, next. Sue Baldwin is requesting to attend the New York State Association of Tax Receivers and Collectors in Lake Placid on June 10th to the 13th. It's overnight travel, so it requires town board approval.
I make a motion to allow Sue Baldwin to go.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Okay, the next one goes against our sick leave donation policy, so that's why it's in front of you today. He's looking for two exemptions here. One, Josh Petrie would like to donate 40 hours of his sick time to both Dave Coppinger and Travis Levine. However, he has fewer than 250 hours. Our policy states you need to have more than 250 hours. And the second one is, it's the policy says the aggregate, so he can only donate 40, so he's asking to donate a total of 80. But as you'll see in H, Josh is resigning, so he no longer needs his sick time. So he's looking to just spread his sick time out to the two guys who need it in the highway department.
So we're asking for an exception
Yeah,
to allow him to do that then?
right.
I would like to make a motion that we allow an exception for Josh Petrie to donate the amount of hours he has requested to the two individuals that he has also requested, and make that exception.
I'll second it. And it's legal, legit?
It's against the policy, right? He just
It's
said
against the policy.
But it's legal.
Has he earned them, has he earned the
Yes, the
hours?
time is there.
Oh, he's got
Okay.
The time- and it's just,
Yeah.
Right.
I think the issue, he's resigning, so he can only take so much.
yeah, you're only allowed to donate 40 hours in a year, so he's actually asking to donate 80. And then he doesn't have, I think he's got like 180 hours in the books. You're supposed to have 250 hours in the books. That's what our
If it's
policy
legal,
states.
What,
But he won't-
when he resigns, when he
Yeah, it's a
resigns,
policy.
does he get that money?
No, the sick time is not paid out. The sick time just goes
But
away.
it's due to him, so I...
But I'm saying, no, it's not paid out.
Right.
Right. He's earned it. Yeah. If he wasn't resigning, it would probably be a different,
Right.
he might have a different answer. So,
As long as it's legal, I'm good.
so there was a motion, I think,
There's a second.
Yeah, a second.
second. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any
I'm
opposed?
I'm opposed to it.
Okay.
That's all right. Not that I don't have any issues about it.
Okay, and I have one more after this one too, so. Josh Petrie has submitted his letter of resignation effective April 2nd, 2018, from the full-time position of MEO. Town board should accept his resignation.
Make a motion, we accept Josh Petrie's resignation with regrets.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
I have one more too, it's a late entry here. Kirk Woodcock is asking for a waiver to allow Mark Weldon, who is a seasonal employee, to drive the highway trucks. Our current policy states you have to be 21 years old, and Mark is not 21 years old. It's okay with the insurance company, because he's been driving for at least 3 years.
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we accept. Kurt, you've seen him drive?
Yes.
The insurance company has no problem?
Nope.
No,
As long as he's been driving for 3
license
years.
for 3 years. But these are not CDL type trucks that you can drive.
Small trucks, right, Kirk?
Yes.
Pickups.
Okay.
I make a motion, we allow.
Mark
We should change
Weldon.
our policy on that then, if you're gonna,
Should be based on Kurt's.
What Kirk says.
Kurt says it's good.
20 years old, he'll be 21 in October. He just came on like 2 weeks ago. Mr. McCacker and I have talked about it. Superb worker, unbelievable. They're lucky to get them. They're doing roads or whatever, so, you know, you have to run back and forth to the truck, you know, walking, whatever. And
Oh, yeah.
this is an opportunity for him to drive a pickup truck to get out and do the job that you want to do. I mean, he's got his license, it says 3 years in our policy, and he's just short a few days of that policy, I believe. Jeff, am I correct?
No, the policy says you need to be 21 years old.
Or 3 years.
No, that's the insurance policy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the insurance policy says you need to have 3 years.
He's within the 3 years, and then we check them.
Yes, yes.
I have no issue with it. I'm just saying, like, why can't we put in the policy up to superintendent's discretion? for driving.
As the superintendent, I want to make sure this is in our minutes, because we did this for Josh Petrie when he was hired 5 or 6 years ago, and there's no documented information on that. I was told that today, and I know specifically we had a meeting on that.
I think as a board, we probably should know who's driving, their age.
Yeah, I don't want to make a carte blanche that anybody under 21 can drive, so.
Right.
So anyway, we do have a motion and a second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So moved.
That's it.
That's it. Is there any other business the board wants to discuss or talk about?
All there is, nothing.
Okay, there's a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.